making leg quarters. Leg quarters today at the Young's house, and I'm excited to show you all how easy it is to make your chicken leg quarters taste absolutely amazing. Here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need the leg quarters. I have washed these leg quarters off using apple cider vinegar, salt, and cold water. You give them a nice rinse, and then you pat them dry with a paper towel. So they're here, okay, and we're gonna be using some Sazon. Sazon will always bring you a beautiful color and a great taste, okay? So now I have 2 packets. I'll use both of those packets. In here, I have some oil. I'll tell you what we're gonna do with that. We're gonna use it to make the skin nice and crispy. These will be baked in the oven, but they're gonna be so succulent, so tender, juicy, crispy on the outside, right? You're gonna need a nice, beautiful onion. You're gonna need a green bell pepper, any color will do. And on the side, we're gonna serve potatoes. It's what I like to call quarter potatoes is what we're doing today. Now you're gonna need some spices to make everything come together and taste delicious. You will need some butter for our potatoes, of course, and the spices we're using today is salt, chicken bouillon powder, black pepper, garlic and onion powder, parsley flakes, of course, for color to make it look gorgeous. We have some paprika, and then we have a really interesting ingredient that's gonna make this chicken over the top. Garam masala. If you've never used it before, you need to start using it. It's absolutely delicious, especially on poultry. Make sure your hands are clean. Let's make chicken leg quarters, Gina Young. Last time you had leg quarters. It's been about a month since we had it. The last time I made it, I baked some and then I fried some. It was so spectacular. My family asked for more. So we're back in the kitchen making more. Back in the days, we used to have this a lot. The price was amazing, and today the price is always amazing on leg quarters. So run out and grab you some and make you some Gina Young stuff. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna trim off some of the skin. There's always extra skin on your leg quarters like this, and maybe some fat. Let's go ahead and trim it up and make it look pleasingly aesthetic, okay? And that just means make it look pretty, right? We don't want all this extra loose stuff just hanging off on your chicken, right? I know you don't. So let's go ahead and take these kitchen shears and trim it up just like this. A lot of people shy away from making leg quarters because it's such a large piece of meat, but I'm gonna show you how to make them today. They're gonna be so tender. They're gonna be crispy on the outside, juicy in the inside, and super flavorful. So now that I've trimmed off the fat, we're gonna season it very well. But before we season it, I wanna put some oil onto it. The underneath side and the skin part, of course. When we oil it, we help that skin to get nice and crispy into the oven, right? We're gonna be cooking these. This is just a vegetable oil. Use what kind of oil you have, okay? When we cook this, we're gonna turn it onto the oven on 365 degrees. Let's go ahead and season it and give it some great flavor. Don't be afraid to season. When you're afraid to season, your food will be flavorless, okay? So now I'm gonna go in with that special seasoning, garam masala, okay? All right, we're gonna go right in just like so. I'm gonna be pretty generous with it as well. And it's gonna perfume your whole house. It's gonna smell amazing. We're gonna put some paprika. This is not smoked paprika, it's just a regular paprika, right? It's gonna give a gorgeous color, okay? We're gonna put us some black pepper on. Oh yeah, now it's smelling great. We're gonna put us some onion and garlic powder, and on purpose. I always use a nice amount, right? Just like this. And then we're gonna put the parsley flakes on for color. Make it look gorgeous. So we're gonna use our salt. For salt today for the chicken, I'm using the chicken bouillon powder. If you don't have it or you don't wanna use it, it's okay. You can use regular salt. Don't forget your Sazon seasoning and really season it well with that Sazon, just like this. So here's what I like to do when I'm baking. I could be baking pork chops, or turkey, or even chicken, whatever it is. I like to put the vegetables in the bottom of the pan and they get roasted. But not only do they get roasted, guess what else? All the juice from that lovely chicken is gonna get onto these roasted vegetables and they're gonna taste amazing. So let's go ahead and slice them up. You can slice them, dice them, whatever you wanna do, just basically get them in the bottom of the pan. Go ahead and slice or dice your bell peppers and onions, okay? Nothing special, just get them into your pan. I'm using a 9 by 13 baking dish. Get the veggies right in the bottom of the pan. Now listen, if you're that person that wants to use some celery or carrots, or maybe that's just what you have in your refrigerator, you could use that. It's going to roast too, and it's going to taste delicious. You hear me? And so here's what I like to do. My husband always tell me when I roast the vegetables in the bottom of the meat, he said, give me some of those roasted veggies too, right on the side of my plate. And he used it like as a side dish, you know. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take that chicken. Look, that's what you call well seasoned. And we're going to put it, you know, the bottom side down, the skin part up, of course, right? And then we're going to turn around and oil the top part and season the top part. Go ahead and turn your oven on 365 degrees. More oil on the top skin. Lovely. And I'm going to take my silicone brush and just get all in the nooks and crannies. And the oil, like I said, I can't, you know, say more about it, but it's going to make that skin nice and crispy. And it holds these spices on, okay? Going in once again with those same seasonings, just like so. Back in with that paprika. If there's one thing that I absolutely love, I love seasoning up some meat. You heard me? Because it comes together and it's so beautiful. It's like an art piece. To me it is. It looks just like an art piece. Gorgeous. I remember my grandmom, she was seasoning something, and I want to almost say it was like a meatloaf, and she told me, she said, if it looked like that, if it's seasoned like that, you know it's going to taste good. And so I live by that. I really do. I live by that. When it's well seasoned, oh baby, I know it's going to taste good. You hear me? Now that everything is nice and seasoned, we've preheated the oven up. Go ahead and put you either some broth or some water in the pan. I'm putting water because I got so many seasonings in here. The water just kind of gets everything to cooking and keeps that chicken nice and lovely. Now listen, it's super important that you don't pour this water on top of those beautiful seasonings because it'll rinse all the seasonings off, right? This is about a cup of water that I'm using, and guess what? We are not gonna cover this up. If you cover it up, it'll just steam. Next, we're gonna make some quartered potatoes, what I like to call them. My grandma would make these and I love them. See, now when she made them, she would do butter and salt and pepper. I do butter, salt and pepper, and garlic powder and parsley flakes. Makes it nice and gorgeous. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. These potatoes right here, you're gonna wanna make them for your family. They are so delicious. Okay, so we're gonna peel the potato, of course. Once we get it peeled, I'm gonna show you what quartered is. Once the potato's nice and peeled, we're gonna go ahead and slice it this way, of course. And then we're gonna do this. And so this right here is quarter. So we're gonna start it out and rinse these several times until you rinse them and the water's nice and clear. If that water's still cloudy, keep rinsing it until the water runs clear. Okay, so we're gonna cut them all like this. We're gonna put them in some salted cold water and cook them until they're fork tender. Don't cook them too long because they'll turn into mush, and we want them to keep this exact shape. Okay, and then I'm gonna show you something special that we're gonna do to them as well. Actually might be my favorite way to have potatoes. Yes, there's so many different ways. You know, we love scalloped potatoes, au gratin potatoes, mashed potatoes, fried potatoes. But this right here, when I tell you this might be, I have to really think about it, but I'm thinking about it now. This one is one of my favorites for sure. Let me know, have you tried these type of potatoes? Or you could also tell me what your favorite type of potato is. I'd love to hear from everybody in the comment section. Here we have our potatoes, and you can see that that water's nice and clear because I rinsed it about 4 times, getting rid of all that starch. I'm gonna salt it because you want them to taste good. Now, don't cook them to mush. You cook them until they're done. You turn them off. Now would be the perfect time for you to clean up your kitchen if you haven't been cleaning up as you're going. Listen, I always like to tell everybody, I'm serious. Clean up as you go. And it makes things so much easier. If there's one thing that I can't stand, I may say this in every video, but I mean it. If there's one thing that I can't stand is when it's time to feed everybody or it's time for me to sit down and eat, you look around and everything's a mess. That's like the worst thing that can happen, right? So as I'm working, I'm cleaning up, I'm putting things into the hot soapy water, I'm wiping things down, or when I take a break like this, everything's cooking. Now's that perfect time. Straighten things up and you'll be more happier. Potatoes are done and I'm all excited. The whole house smells amazing. And of course the chicken's almost done. So now this is what your potatoes are gonna look like once you drain them. They're still intact, nice and soft. I use a whole stick of butter, I do. You use as much or as least butter as you'd like to do. You're basically going to just take tads of butter and you put it all over these potatoes. And don't worry, you don't have to mix it in or stir anything. If you do, you'll mash your potatoes, right? Just let the butter melt all over these lovely potatoes. And after that happens, or while that's happening, we're gonna season it. And we're going in with salt, we're going in with pepper, garlic powder, and the parsley flakes. Go ahead and season them. And now season to perfection, right? You don't need to stir it. You stir it, you mash them, all right? Just that little bit of parsley. My mom would call these right here parsley potatoes, okay? But grandma would say quarter potatoes, all right? So I'm going in with garlic powder on purpose, a nice amount, okay? Salt, if you can use it. If you can't use it, just leave it out. It'll be okay. All right, gorgeous. We're gonna put us some black pepper. Then we cover it with foil and let the butter melt. How simple was this side dish? Look at that. How lovely is that? Ooh, and see, putting that juice in there is keeping it nice and juicy. Oh my goodness. So listen, they've cooked for an hour. I'm gonna cook them for about 1 hour and 35 minutes. Take a look at this. Yeah, I know. I'm so excited. You're gonna love this recipe. Listen to me. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you ain't subscribed, what you waiting on? Look at that. Look at that. Ooh, tell your family and friends. Tell the world what Gina's doing every single day in this kitchen. And Father, on today, we thank you for this lovely meal, your hedge of protection and your mercy. Amen. Everybody wants to taste. You want to taste? I'm going all in. And I couldn't be more excited. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me, y'all? When I tell you these are A1. Oh, Oh, ho, ho, ho. I'm not gonna eat a lot because I want to eat with my family. Oh, baby. Oh, that's it. Make it so. Enjoy.